When Roosevelt put people back to work, they built this building. It was getting ready to fall down because it was vacant for almost like 30 years.
Right.
And so I like to think we came in here to save it. Right now we're at the Bill Pickett Riding Academy, located on West River Drive in Montgomery, Fairmount Park, Philadelphia.
I think that's one of the most important things why I asked you that like there was a disconnect that no one knows about the connection between like blacks in the American West.
They the ones that rescued Custard before Little Bighorn. Yeah, they rode 100 miles in 24 hours to save him. And, you know, and they were on their way to try to get him out of Little Bighorn, but they didn't get there on time. Yeah, so there's a history, there's a history. When my kids were very young, like Lance, he was about 12 years old. I remember us going to a horse auction, and I wanted to buy him a cowboy hat. And Lance refused the cowboy hat. He said, Dad, because all that doing is imitating a white man. You know, he was just 12 years old. Then that's when I realized that he didn't understand the history of the black cowboy, the black West, and the contributions that African Americans played in it. So that's when I start getting material and stuff together so, you know, that my kids could read so they can get a true understanding. We're not imitating anyone. If you're the origin of the word cowboy is really a black person. Because in during slavery, we were referred to as boy. We took to the plantation of cow. So that's how the word came about. But a lot of people, so the word then got lost over the years, but it's really derogatory. You know, cowboy is referring to us. They were known as cattlemen and whatnot. And so now you got the Dallas Cowboys and everybody else, but they really knew the true origin of the word.
They lost some John Wayne films.
Yeah. So now everybody wants to be a cowboy. If you really get into the history of the West, and we call it the Black West, it was the blacks who settled the West, you know, including the Buffalo Soldiers. They're the ones who fought the Indians, you know, they never played that. So it's that history that I end up trying to teach my kids. Now we pass that on, because that's one of the things we do down here is teach the history of the Black West and the Buffalo Soldier. And we were some outlaws too. There were some black outlaws, you know. One guy that come to mind is Cherokee Bill. They hung him at 21 years old. He was part Native American. He was then Afro American. At 21, they hung him. And his dying words is he said, you know, they asked him, you have any last words? He said, I didn't come here to make a speech. I come here to die.